three shells together with little organism because we had like a party. I remember when we were small, we used to sit in this woodland oyster. Okay? And because it was no glass at that time, this woodland oyster was cut into the shape of a
We'll also keep the postman busy.
Just
What is that, right? What is that, right? It is the earth which is sterilized by nature. Sedimentary rock.
It is a sedimentary. So why are we so scared of using that?
So when we do ram dirt,
out of the Panjim. The residential side is to my left here. Okay, there are these wards: Santome, Fantainhas, Mala, Portais, and Rasu Batle. That's where the Panjim residential areas are there, situated. This are located. That's where the soul of Panjim resides. Although the body is to my right. Now the first walk is covering the first ward. That is Santome to my left. So we'll be moving down this street and we'll be going till the junction of Fontainhas and we'll be ending there. Lots of things to see in this ward itself.
Hi, my name is Adolfina. I come from a place called Aguara, popularly known as Aguara, the fort, but the village is Sinkeri. So I have been with this organization, this company Soul Traveling. They are a Margao, South Goa based company and they have started in 2017. I've been with them since 2020, and well, Soul Traveling is all about offbeat experiences. When we talk to people, when we talk to guests, when we talk to tourists, and we ask them like, what is Goa to you guys? What do you think about Goa? What have you heard about Goa? The answers, the common answers we get is it's all about the three B's: beach, booze, bikinis, latest tech, casinos, and blah blah blah. So this is the mindset we want to change, which people have like the stereotype thinking, and we want to tell the world and the people that Goa is much more than that, about the rich heritage, culture, and we do a lot of places with experiences here in North Goa as well as in South Goa. We do the islands. It's a totally different experience, and people really enjoy. We tell the local stories, the history, and it's catching up so well that we're very busy, and we're looking forward to today's heritage walk.
Any idea when Panjim was called the Siddharthi Nova Goa or the city of New Goa? So, okay, in 1843, Panjim was officially declared as the Siddharthi Nova Goa, the city of New Goa. There was a move to shift the capital out of Old Goa starting somewhere in the 17th century, and there were a lot of politics involved. 1759, I think the Viceroy moved to the Aditya Palace. In 1843, eventually Panjim was declared as the Siddharthi Nova Goa. When the city of Navagoa was declared, the first area which developed is the area we'll walk. It was originally called Kalmar Pond. It belongs to a landlord called who in fact was also known as Mozambique. He had made his fortune in Mozambique and he owned this property. At his death, he bequeathed it to an institution called Nossa Senhora de Chimel. And they, in turn, when the demand for housing came up, just parceled out the land to everyone, and it was a very haphazard development. So you have all these narrow lanes called becos and all, which today gives the area its character and charm. Uh,
Yes, so basically, this is an initiative of the Goa Tourism Committee of the Tourism Committee of the Goa Chamber of Commerce with Goa Heritage Action Group and a number of private organizations like Soul Traveling, Make It Happen, Tree Walks Goa, Dr. Marian Lobo, Goa Bird Conservation Network, and Darpana Atale. The aim is to have a walks festival where we do a series of walks through Panjim. We have one in Margao, we have two in Old Goa, and we might have one in Shorao. It's like developing. Every time you're putting out, someone else wants to do a walk, and the basic aim is to try and discover local routes, local trails, which people locals themselves should walk, and create new experiences in the tourism sector in Goa, which are low intensive and which cover what is already there. So this festival, the inaugural walk is today, and from 26th to 9th, there are around 26th March to 9th April, around 10 walks, around 10 to 13 walks are planned. We might have some. The mayor of Panjim also will be joining us to see what further improvements can we do to facilitate walks and experiences like this. I'll hand.
These walks are for us, all of us, to become more aware of the beauty around us. That is one aspect. The other is that if we appreciate something, then we value it, and if we value, we will preserve it, conserve it, enjoy it for the future generation. There is another aspect to it. We forget our youngsters, our children who are walking these streets, or women. They are the ones. What is it that they are experiencing? Is it safe enough? Is it good quality? Can we walk actually? So there is a whole section of society we get in touch with. Otherwise, we just rush by in our cars and scooters and destinations. And what happens to the city when it loses the 60% of its population's engagement? You know? How do we bring that about? How do we make it for all our societies, just not some people, men on scooters, women on scooters, or working population, but also vendors, also small businesses, also eateries, and what about the tourists? What do they experience? So when we walk around, we get to know our own city a little better, and let's all be very conscious. Every building, new building that we put in is a carbon footprint. Can the earth afford constant engagement of new carbon? I don't think so. It is high time we become aware and make good use of existing, because these are all carbon neutral buildings. We can make good use of them, repair them, restore them before we build new buildings. So, this is more to engage in this dialogue to understand where Panjim and other parts of Goa, all our ancestral cities, villages with lot. We would want to expand it, not just Panjim. And that's the whole idea to start. Let's be carbon conscious, let's be conscious of the 60% of our population, women and children, and also the vendors. Thank you. Poonam Verma, Masqueraders. The book on Panjim, which was released by Goa Heritage Action Group, mapped heritage of Panjim, was my initiation, and I'm an architect and a conservationist. And that was the first step to bring more focus on how much we have lost in the last 10 years. We have lost 109 buildings, and but there are still 950 buildings which are of value, but we are losing them.
Altogether, how many buildings are you said?
950 buildings.
Okay, and how many we have lost 100?
We have lost 110 buildings to development, to wrong kind of intervention. They have lost their historic value, because when we do listing, it is according to the value. So there is a way to keep the architectural value and historical value intact, but some of these buildings. So do look at the book. There is a whole chapter as well on it, as to how we should go about restoring, or even just making their lives better. These are our elderly people who need a little love and care to take them into our future with us. Now.
Yes. Okay. So we have the first Philatelic Museum, or Postal Museum, as we call it in India, in planned here. Now the whole site will be revamped, and that is something of pride for all of us, because we don't really have such. We have some museums in Goa which are really good. We have the Museum of Christian Art, we have Museum of the Houses of Goa, Goa Chitra, and this will probably be one of them which will stand out, in Panjim and Fontanish, or this area as well, is what I feel. Beth, do you want to share anything more regarding?
No, this is it, because it's also the future. All old, just knowing the past, but the fact that the same building carrying this story forward is extremely important. And these buildings have that potential to make the connection from where we are coming to where we could go. And so there could be more than just a museum, but also about the postal service, and you never know how more and where all it can expand for the kids.
So the postal
Next
service has an
generation.
initiative where they give you a blank stamp and you can put your own image. So you can make your own stamp. Right? So that's possible with digital technology now. Like you can get, if you're sending out invites, you can make a customized stamp. So if it's announcing the birth of a baby, you can put a baby picture and that can be the stamp. So that is some way like you're marrying the old and the new. So that is nice, yes. That's something more. Okay. Do you know that this place shares its pin code with another place in the world? That's the most common answer that I get.
It's a continent. It's not a country.
Yeah. So there is a very interesting story here. If any, so he said Antarctica. I don't know if it's true, but the thing is, if any Indian, if Vishal goes to Antarctica tomorrow, and we have to write a letter to Antarctica, we use the pin code 40301. Any Indian who does that uses this pin code. Can you guess why? Okay, so the Indian research in Antarctica is based out of something called the NI. It started with NIO, now it's NCAOR. But NIO had the pin code 403001. Okay, and the first research station, Dakshin Gangotri, when it needed a post office, it started with the same pin code as 40001. Now Dakshin Gangotri is under smoke, it's not functional. We moved to Maitri, which is the second one, which is still functional with the same pin code. And the current one is Bharti, which is asking for a new pin code. I don't think there's a post office tag there yet. So we hope that the same pin code will continue for that one as well. But
This is the first walk that we are having. We've got 10 different walks, all curated. Now, Goa Chamber of Commerce is very proud to associate with Goa Heritage Action Group as well as the Panjim municipality to be a part of this initiative. Goa is a lovely place, but it's much better when you walk and look around. Each building has a story to tell, and that's where the soul of Goa resides. It's not just beaches or parties, but there's much, much more than that. And Goa is why we, for initiative of this, is Goa is a very small state. What we require is minimum footsteps generating maximum revenues. I think that's the formula that we can look for Goa. And if we encourage such things, if we expose whatever our ancestors have put for us, it's amazing. The buildings itself in Panjam, we have got the Casa de Moeda. This was the mint behind us. We've got a post office to the right. To the left, there's the headquarters, while the post office is to the left here. If we move ahead along the street itself, there are wonderful buildings, including there is a finishing house for girls before they got married. There was a place which is just before Mandovi, before the State Bank of India. That was the place. So every edifice here has its own story to tell. So besides Panjim, we'll be also going to surrounding areas like Old Goa, Shorround, and maybe one day we'll do little tours from the rivers because Goa is so beautiful. It's created by the good Lord to be seen from the rivers. We can see a very good part of it. That may be our next initiative, but that will be much later. Anyway, thank you all so much.
So right now, where it will stop?
okay, let's be on one side of the road.
Guys, please stick to your left.
So now we are entering Fontainebleau. Is it correct? Okay, so this part is called the South of Memo. Okay, and then all of if you have anyone from South of Maine, they said, no, we only working for that. They said, no, this is South of Maine. And the name comes from, of course, the saint that is revered here, and there is a small chapel also dedicated to the saint. So let me just briefly, as we walk through.
अच्छा त्याची स्क्रीन पण आहे ना याची स्क्रीन एवढी छोटीशी आहे तिच्यामध्ये वाईट बघायला अलग वाटते
I'd just like to thank everybody, first of all, for coming out this early on early morning. And I'd like to thank GCCI also and everyone who's here for basically helping us to. Like, our aim is to turn Panjim into like a cultural hub of Goa and to provide an alternative to like the casinos and everybody else also. So I'd just like to extend a vote of thanks to all of them for helping me achieve this thing.
Where what culture we didn't get can
Now,
you
see, for
indicate?
example, now see,
So we are doing all these
yeah.
trails, heritage trails, which will get an idea of what cultural institutions are there, plus festivals and all that.
Like
Yeah.
the one behind us, we've got a mint here.
Yeah.
This is a mint.
In the morning, but I think it's the best time to experience it during the week. We are heritage enthusiasts. This walk was started way back in 2000 by Rita Pandit, and at that time we used to have one person, two persons. We never thought one day that it would support three, four businesses. It's great to see that there are around 15 to 16 people now who regularly do this trade. So to start with, I'll give a brief introduction, then Varun and Adalcina will lead, and we have a lot of experts here. Poonam is great on architecture. Tanula is also there, and Vishal are there on fields and nature. Right? Jennifer is also there. So anyone at any time want to come with a point, please do it. It's a very interactive. So to start with, how aware are you all